It's all fun and games with B-Mac in the chair as well. Mac, I think more can be said about the Bears coming out of this one. That just might be the seat I'm sitting in. Let's talk about the Chiefs first and foremost here.
Sir.
You sort of get a lame duck opponent in this matchup, but the offense did click. We saw wrinkles we have not yet this season. What did you make of their performance where winning is expected? Sometimes it does not come. Winning was expected here, and it surely did.
Well, I think this was the offense that we thought we would see week one, right? We saw some struggles, and no surprise because they were missing Travis Kelce. And then last week we started to see the Kansas City Chiefs offense generate more production consistently. In today's matchup against a team that's clearly going in the wrong direction, they put everything together nicely. The running game was there. The running backs were involved in the passing game. Of course, Travis Kelce was making plays on the football field. Pat Mahomes was running around buying time like he's been accustomed to, known to do. And they just were executing on all cylinders. And this is the offense that we thought we would see, right? But it took some time. But right now, they're in midseason form.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong thing you want to see if you're facing off against Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense.
It was a Billboard Top 100 performance of sorts here with Taylor Swift in the stadium. We know what should be. We know what Travis Kelce is.
Yeah.
We know what he provides to this offense, but the question marks around the Chiefs have been other targets. What did you see in that regard? I mean, a lot of open space against this Bears defense for them to get to where they were trying to go, but Isaiah Pacheco gets going downhill. MVS, we saw him make a couple grabs. Are you confident enough in this battery of talent around Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce?
That's a great question. I think because I trust so much in Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Andy Reid's scheme.
Yeah. Yes, they can get to the promised land, which is the playoffs. Now, finding a way to get to a Super Bowl, you know, it remains to be seen because they don't have that featured guy. And one would say, well, B-Mac, they did it a year ago without having a featured wide receiver. Yes, but we know when you get to that level, every week is a championship effort from the opposing team you're going against. And the thing that I'm more concerned with is depth, the lack thereof, at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Right? We understand if you're missing Travis Kelce, you're going to miss a big dip in production. But they can't afford to have any mishaps in regards to the injuries or just a lack of production from any of the wide receivers. So that's my concern because a year ago, they had a guy by the name of Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
Right? Now, granted, he might not be the household name that he once was early on in his career in Pittsburgh, but yet and still he provided a significant amount of experience, and also he made plays down the stretch when need be. They don't have that guy. So you talk about just the lack of depth and understanding and knowing they have to rely on a lot of young players. Sky Moore, eventually Kadarius Toney may come to the party. That's my biggest concern. But when you have number 15 and 87 and a thick mustache and Andy Reid calling plays, you got more than a fighting shot.
Yeah, when you got those types of guys in the room, players do have a way of elevating themselves. The room in Chicago right now is in disrepair.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and keep an air of professionalism here because you know where I stand on this matter, B-Mac. But when you take a look at the Chicago Bears, and I know we've shared plenty of words on and off air about them, where does it start? Where does the fixing start? Because a year ago, you make the trade you did to put the wide receiver talent around Justin Fields. He still has problems up front. It seemed like there's a room where there's no leader right now, a defense with nothing but holes. I'll stop and let you answer the question here, but where does the change start?
It starts with coaching. It's the coach's job to understand and know what their players do best. It's hard for me to admit this and say this before you all, but the Chicago Bears actually look better a year ago at this point.
Certainly.
Compared to what they're looking like now. And they have more talent, quote unquote, on paper. But for whatever reason, something is not clicking. And it's up to the coaches to find a way to put their players in positions to be successful on both sides of the football field, starting with their star quarterback in Justin Fields. Because we felt like seeing what he was able to do with less last year, with the money they had at their disposal, the draft picks, the resources, if you just add a few pieces to the puzzle around Justin Fields, he was going to take off and be one of the up-and-coming new hot quarterbacks that we can look forward to seeing do big-time things throughout his professional career. But he's looking the total opposite. So what is going on? We can put a lot of blame on Justin Fields. We can put a lot of blame on the coaches. Everyone has the equal amount of blame for why we're seeing a lack of production from anything associated with the Chicago Bears. So it's up to those individuals in the facility to find a way to get things going. Because if they don't, if they have a horrible year, we talked about this off camera. You probably will have to make a coaching change.
And that's the thing that we were talking about. If you make the coaching change, do you make the quarterback change? Do you make the general manager change? Do you make the ownership change, which is only in the hands of the McCaskey family and the great Papa Bear and what has come before everybody in that building? And I think that's what amplifies some of this. It's difficult times right now for the Chicago Bears, and because I have a camera, I will deliver this to the camera. Get better.
How?
Change something. Do whatever you need to do. There are millions of people that support you week in and week out, and you are ruining their days. Get better, do better, be better. Whatever it takes, Chicago, we need you. B-Mac, I got no questions beyond that on this Bears game. So let's get back on the Chiefs here for a moment. That felt therapeutic. So I appreciate you
let it out.
Allowing
You're the voice for millions of voices right now.
I guess my question would be: do they have to televise Bears Broncos? Is that something that we all have to watch? Because it was not good for the Broncos. It was not good for the Bears, and they will soon meet. B-Mac, we appreciate you breaking this one down as always.